Hello CA Foundation students, this is our first revision video for your May 2026 attempt and we are covering chapter number 1 Indian Regulatory Framework of your business law subject. In less than 15 to 20 minutes, we are going to cover all of this chapter and if you watch this video till the end at least 2 times, आज आपने देखा and then you watch it one day before the exam. So if you watch it 2 times today and then say one day before the exam, then I am sure that you will be able to score maximum in this particular chapter. I know that and all of us know that we have a fixed question of 6 marks which is going to come from this chapter, and definitely you will be able to score like 4 or 5 and at times you can also score 6 in this particular chapter. It is a very small chapter. I would urge not to leave this chapter, rather do it properly and 6 marks in your pocket. Coming straight to the topic. First topic which we have is meaning of law. They can cover it up this question along with some other question like meaning of law and sources of law, or meaning of law and types of law, or meaning of law and the procedure of making law. So very much important. What is meaning of law? What is meaning of law? This video is going to be a complete revision of your keywords. So what we are going to focus on is revision of keywords, and it is going to be a fully exam oriented video, not a detailed explanation, because it is high time that you focus on what is important for your exam, and what is important are the keywords. So what is meaning of law? Set of obligations and duties. Imposed by whom? Imposed by the government, and for what? Securing welfare and providing justice to society. So what you have to do is repeat everything after me. Law is a set of obligations and duties which is imposed by the government for securing welfare and providing justice to society. Set of obligations and duties imposed by the government for securing welfare and providing justice to society. Coming to sources of law. What are the sources of law? First and foremost is your constitution. Then there are the judicial decisions of various courts. Constitution, court ने दिए हुए decisions, the laws made by parliament and state assemblies, जो भी laws pass हुए हैं by the central government and the state government, in some cases established customs and usages. So what are the 4 sources of law? First is the constitution, second is the judicial decisions of various courts, laws made by parliament and state assemblies, and in some cases established customs and usages. Coming to a theory direct short note on Constitution of India. In this case, I have noticed that students write anything, the general information which they have, and that is not going to give you like very good marks. So remember the keywords which I am making you revise now. For Constitution of India, remember that you have to state it is the framework within which our democratic system works. Framework within which our democratic system works, and it states that laws are made for the people, by the people, right? It provides 2 things. Fundamental rights of citizens. It provides for fundamental rights of citizens and protects these rights, and also it provides fundamental duties as well as powers of central and state government. So fundamental duties of citizens and fundamental powers and duties of government. Then they say that the people who wrote the constitution decided to divide the lawmaking power between central government and state government, and that is why we call India is a federal system. India is a federal country. What is the reason? Because our lawmaking power is divided by the constitution into central government and state government, and that is why Indian constitution has 3 lists: central list, state list and joint list. Central list, state list and joint list. I hope आपको पता होगा that what is mentioned in each of this list. It is very easy. Coming to process of making law. Firstly, a very easy question if you get in exam, nothing like it. What is the process of making law? When first the law is proposed in the parliament, that is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, it is called a bill. First it is going to be presented in Lok Sabha. After discussion and debate, it will be passed from Lok Sabha, and then it has to be passed in Rajya Sabha. Once it is passed in Rajya Sabha, it has to be assented by the president. It has to obtain the assent of the president, and then it will be notified by the government in the publication known as Official Gazette of India. Why? Because the general public will know from which date the law became effective, right? So that will be mentioned in Official Gazette of India. Then coming to types of laws in the Indian legal system. What are the 4 types of laws? Criminal law, civil law, common law and principles of natural justice. What is mentioned in criminal law? What is the meaning of criminal law? It is concerned with laws pertaining to violations of law and public wrongs. So it is about violation of the law, it is about public wrongs, and along with it, it has punishment of the same. So criminal law is about violations of law, public wrongs, and punishment of the same. Coming to what are the three types which are what are the three important points which are covered under criminal law? It is Indian Penal Code, which defines the crime, the type of crime, its nature, and the punishment for it. So what is defined in Indian Penal Code 1860? The crime, its nature, and punishment. Then there is a code of criminal procedure which defines exhaustive procedure for executing the punishment of the crime. Now see, there are some changes practically currently in these all things, but we are looking at what is important for your exam, right? Indian Penal Code defines the crime, its nature and punishment. Code of criminal procedure defines कि कौन से procedure से ये punishment को execute किया जाएगा. What are the examples? The criminal offences example are murder, rape, theft, fraud, cheating, assault, etc. Then coming to civil law, it is going to be about disputes between whom? Individuals and organizations. और criminal law में क्या था? It was about violation of law along with it public wrongs and उसका punishment. Civil law में क्या है? Matters of dispute between individuals and organizations. It focuses on dispute resolution rather than punishment, and it is governed by code of civil procedure. Further, the types of laws which come under civil law are law of contract, family law, property law, and law of tort. Example of civil offences: कॉन्ट्रैक्ट का ब्रीच हो गया, गुड्स का डिलीवरी नहीं किया, पेमेंट नहीं दिया टाइम पे लेंडर को, ब्रीच ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, सेलर डिफेमेशन, डिस्प्यूट बिटवीन लैंडलॉर्ड एंड टेनेंट, एक्सेट्रा. सो एनी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एक्ट का violation will come under civil offences. Then coming to common law, what is the meaning of common law? You know what students write? It is the law for common people. Definitely it is going to hamper your image in front of the examiner. What is common law? It is the case law or the judicial precedent. That means it is a judgment delivered by Supreme Court or any of the court. What they are saying is a judgment delivered by Supreme Court is going to be binding upon all the courts which are within the territory of India, and this common law principle is on the basis of doctrine of stare decisis. Doctrine of stare decisis, which means to stand by that which is already decided. It means it reinforces the obligation of courts to follow the same principle or judgment which is established by previous decisions while ruling a case which is on all four legs. That means where the facts are similar. So that is about common law. Coming to last type of law, principles of natural justice. What are the rules of natural justice? First and basic rule is no one should be made a judge in his own cause, and it is a rule against prejudice. It is a rule against prejudice. Another is opportunity of being heard. Hear the other party or give the other party a fair hearing. So opportunity of being heard, and no one should be prejudiced. That is the rule against prejudice. And last is reasoned decision. That is every decision which is given by the court should follow a detailed set of reasons. A judgment can override or alter a common law. That is a next judgment can override or alter another judgment, but it cannot anytime override the statute, right? Then coming to who does the work of enforcing the law. First and basic thing which we all know, that there are three categories in which our law-making powers are divided. Like making is with one set of group, then the enforcing is with another, and the execution, right? So enforcing the law, who does the enforcing of law? The government of India exercises its authority, executive authority, through a few government ministries or department of state. So for the purpose of executive authority, they have different ministries. A ministry is composed of employed officials who are known as civil servants and is politically accountable through a minister. So there is going to be a ministry and it is headed by a minister. Most major ministries are headed by a cabinet minister. That means a group of ministries, if they fall under a group of ministries, they are called as cabinet ministers, who sit in the Union Council of Ministers and is supported by a team of junior ministers called ministers of state. Coming to a theory question, direct short note on Ministry of Finance. It is concerned with economy of India. Whenever there is a question of Ministry of Finance, what you should remember is It is concerned with economy of India. It serves as treasury of India. It concerns itself with taxation, financial legislation, financial institutions, capital markets, and most important, about the union budget. Important function is presentation of union budget. So what you are going to remember in Ministry of Finance is economy of India के बारे में concerned है. It is serving as treasury of India. What work does it do in which areas? It is working in the area of taxation, financial legislation, financial institutions, capital markets, etc. And the most important function is about union budget ka presentation. What is the constitution of Ministry of Finance? How is it constituted? Like, it has different divisions, but it is the apex controlling authority mainly of these divisions. It is the controlling authority of Indian Revenue Service, Indian Audits and Accounts Service, Indian Economic Service, and Indian Civil Accounts Service. Revenue Service, Economic Service, Audit and Accounts Service, Civil Accounts Service, right? Departments of Ministry of Finance, there are different departments. Let's have a look at it. Department of Economic Affairs, डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ एक्सपेंडिचर, एक्सपेंडिचर के साथ साथ आपको याद आएगा डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ रेवेन्यू, रेवेन्यू के साथ साथ आपको याद आएगा डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज, फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज अगर है देन यू कैन रिमेंबर डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट एंड पब्लिक एसेट मैनेजमेंट एंड द डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ पब्लिक एंटरप्राइज. दैट इज अबाउट मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ फाइनेंस. Coming to the short note on Ministry of Corporate Affairs, MCA. Very easy question. Basic क्या लिखना है? It is a Indian government ministry. Primarily, it is concerned with administration of 3 acts: Companies Act 2013, LLP Act 2008, Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016. Responsible mainly for regulation of Indian enterprises in industrial and services sector. Easy. Ministry is mostly run by civil servants of ICLS cadre. तो आपको क्या याद रखना है कि इनके जो एम्प्लॉयज होते हैं वो कौन से कैडर के होते हैं? ICLS cadre. These officers are elected through civil services examination which is conducted by the Union Public Service Commission. The highest post, that is DGCOA, it is fixed at apex scale for the ICLS. तो important क्या क्या याद रखना है? Indian government ministry है. It is concerned with the regulation of these 3 acts. It is run by which type of servants और उसका highest post क्या होता है, right? Then coming to Ministry of Home Affairs, that is गृह मंत्रालय. It is a ministry of government of India and interior ministry of India, mainly responsible for maintenance of internal security and domestic policy. So what are the keywords that you should write for home affairs? Maintenance of internal security and domestic policy. It is headed by Union Minister of Home Affairs. क्या बड़ी बात बोल दी. Department of Ministry of Home Affairs कितने हैं? बॉर्डर मैनेजमेंट के बारे में देखेंगे. बॉर्डर के साथ साथ इंटरनल भी देखना पड़ेगा. इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी का डिपार्टमेंट, इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी के साथ साथ घर का भी देखना पड़ेगा. डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ होम अलग से इंपॉर्टेंस देना पड़ेगा. जम्मू एंड कश्मीर एंड लद्दाख अफेयर्स के लिए डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ ऑफिशियल लैंग्वेज एंड डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ स्टेट. ऐसा कुछ कहानी बन के आपको याद करना पड़ेगा. देन कमिंग टू मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ लॉ एंड जस्टिस. अगेन इट इज अ गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया मिनिस्ट्री. इंपॉर्टेंट इज लॉ एंड जस्टिस का मिनिस्ट्री कहाँ पे है, कहाँ पे दिया गया है? दैट इज इट फॉल्स अंडर द लिस्ट ऑफ कैबिनेट मिनिस्ट्री. What does it deal with? It deals with 3 things. It deals with legal affairs का management, it deals with legislative activities and it deals with justice in India, right? So जो legal affairs का management है that is done through Department of Legal Affairs. The legislative activities are governed through the legislative department and the administration of justice, it is done through Department of Justice. So 3 departments: Department of Legal Affairs, Department of Justice and Legislative Department. So that is the thing about Ministry of Law and Justice. Along with that they have given one additional point that the Department of Legal Affairs, ये वाला department और एक काम करता है. It advises various ministries of the central government, while Legislative Department का और एक काम क्या है? ड्राफ्टिंग ऑफ प्रिंसिपल लेजिस्लेशन. ठीक है, तो इसके 2 काम दिए, इसके 2 काम दिए और इसका 1 काम दिया. नो द डिपार्टमेंट्स एंड देयर वर्क. कमिंग टू नेक्स्ट, सेबी. क्या है सेबी? इट इज अ रेगुलेटरी बॉडी फॉर सिक्योरिटीज एंड कमोडिटी मार्केट इन इंडिया. इट इज अंडर द ओनरशिप ऑफ मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ फाइनेंस विद इन द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया. इस्टेब्लिश्ड वाला आपको डेट याद नहीं रहेगा बट ईयर याद रख सकते हो. इस्टेब्लिश हुआ 1988 में, लेकिन सेबी एक्ट पास हुआ 1992 में. सो स्टैट्यूटरी पावर उसको कब मिला? 1992 2 में। कमिंग टू रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया का शॉर्ट नोट, इंपॉर्टेंट वन। इंडिया का सेंट्रल बैंक कौन है? रिजर्व बैंक। रेगुलेटरी बॉडी कौन है फाइनेंशियल चीजों के लिए? रिजर्व बैंक। फॉर रेगुलेशन ऑफ इंडियन बैंकिंग सिस्टम, बैंकिंग सिस्टम के रेगुलेशन के लिए कौन है? रिजर्व बैंक। कम्स अंडर द मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ फाइनेंस, अगेन रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर कंट्रोल, इश्यू एंड मेंटेनिंग सप्लाई ऑफ इंडियन रूपी। इंडियन रूपी का कंट्रोल करना, मेंटेन करना सप्लाई, ये सब कौन देखता है? रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया। ऑल्सो मैनेजेस इंडियाज पेमेंट सिस्टम एंड वर्क्स टू प्रमोट इट्स इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट। सो एक तो मनी कंट्रोल का बात हो गया, पेमेंट सिस्टम्स को मैनेज करना, इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट के बारे में देखना, सब कुछ कौन कर रहा है? आरबीआई। दो तीन आपको चीजें, दो तीन जो इंपॉर्टेंट बॉडीज आती है आरबीआई के अंडर, वो याद रखनी है। इट इज द भारतीय रिजर्व बैंक नोट मुद्रान। ये क्या है? अ डिविजन ऑफ आरबीआई थ्रू विच इट प्रिंट्स एंड मिंट्स इंडियन करेंसी नोट्स एंड प्रिंटिंग करेंसी। दिस प्रेसेस आर लोकेटेड इन नासिक एंड देवास। तो यहाँ पे तो दो ही दिए गए, तो उतना ही याद रखो। आरबीआई एस्टैब्लिश द नेशनल पेमेंट कॉर्पोरेशन ऑफ इंडिया। अब ये क्या है? सो तीन डिवीजन के बारे में दिया है। पहला है भारतीय रिजर्व बैंक नोट मुद्रान, दूसरा है एनपीसीआई नेशनल पेमेंट कॉर्पोरेशन ऑफ इंडिया। इट इज फॉर रेगुलेशन एंड रेगुलेशन ऑफ द पेमेंट एंड सेटलमेंट सिस्टम इन इंडिया, रेगुलेशन ऑफ पेमेंट एंड सेटलमेंट सिस्टम इन इंडिया। और तीसरा डिपार्टमेंट है डीआईसीजीसी, डिपॉजिट इंश्योरेंस एंड क्रेडिट गारंटी कॉर्पोरेशन। डिपॉजिट इंश्योरेंस एंड क्रेडिट गारंटी कॉर्पोरेशन क्या करता है? इट इज एस्टैब्लिश्ड एज वन ऑफ द स्पेशलाइज्ड डिवीजन फॉर providing insurance of deposits and guaranteeing of credit facilities to all Indian banks, right? Coming to Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India, IBBI. This body is a regulator for overseeing the insolvency proceedings and for entities like insolvency professional agencies, insolvency professionals and information utilities in India. तो क्या है IBBI? It is for looking after the insolvency proceedings and the regulatory body for these three types of bodies, right? It was established in 2016 and given statutory powers through the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. कब पास हुआ वो याद वैसे भी नहीं रहने वाला, so leave it. What does this IBBI cover? It covers individuals, companies, limited liability, partnership and partnership firms. Like in short, this IBC code covers this. The new code will speed up the resolution process for stressed assets in the country. ये सब हम लोग डिटेल लेक्चर्स में डिस्कस कर सकते हैं, अभी नहीं। वॉट यू हैव टू रिमेंबर इज स्ट्रेस एसेट्स जो होते हैं, राइट, उनके रिजोल्यूशन प्रोसेस कि अब इस कंपनी का क्या करे, उसके बारे में कौन देखेगा? आईबीबीआई। इट अटेम्प्ट्स टू सिंप्लीफाई द प्रोसेस एंड simplify the process of two things, insolvency and the bankruptcy proceedings, as well as handle the cases using two tribunals, NCLT and debt recovery tribunal. तो ये जो भी keywords है, debt recovery tribunal, NCLT, इनके थ्रू हैंडल किया जाता है। क्या हैंडल किया जाता है? All these things are getting covered here, and the stress assets का resolution process, simplification of the resolution process for these insolvency and bankruptcy proceedings, ये important words आपको याद रखने होंगे। Coming to what are the functions of judiciary system of India, right? तो judiciary system क्या function perform करने वाला है? So one, there is the law making legislative body, there is the judiciary body and there is the executive body. We are now looking after functions of judiciary system of India. First is promotion of fairness among the citizens of India. Second is dispute resolution between the Indian citizens and the government. Third is regulation of the interpretation of acts and codes. तो जो लॉ बना है उसको इंटरप्रेट करना, इंटरप्रिटेशन ऑफ एक्ट्स एंड कोड्स। दूसरा फेयरनेस प्रमोट करना सिटीजन्स में। तीसरा डिस्प्यूट रिजोल्यूशन करना। Remember this. Coming to hierarchy of courts, the last topic. Why hierarchy of courts is given here? Because it falls under the judiciary system of India. So question ये combine आएगा हमेशा most probably कि functions बताओ judiciary system के and the hierarchy of courts. What is the hierarchy of courts? At apex is the Supreme Court. Then comes the High Court, District Court and Metropolitan Court. Coming to Supreme Court, क्या points आपको याद रखने हैं regarding the Supreme Court? It is the apex body of the judiciary. Chief Justice of India is the highest authority in a Supreme Court. Principal bench of the Supreme Court consists of 7 members, including the Chief Justice of India. लेकिन currently ये 7 जो number है वो नहीं है, वो ज़्यादा है। Presently the number increased to 34, including the CJI, Chief Justice of India, due to rise in the number of cases and the workload. an individual can seek relief in the Supreme Court by filing a writ petition. 5 points, remember them. Coming to High Court. High Court जो होता है, क्या हर स्टेट में होना जरूरी है? Yes, there must be a high court in each state. लेकिन कुछ स्टेट्स जो है वो शेयर भी करते हैं हाई कोर्ट, राइट? हाई कोर्ट हैज appellant, original and supervisory jurisdiction. Now what is it? We are not going to discuss because what is important is you have to just remember for this exam. अब हम explanation पे ध्यान नहीं दे रहे. It has appellant, original as well as supervisory jurisdiction. Highest court of appeal in each state is going to be the high court. Along with union territory में भी highest क्या होगा? High court. An individual can seek remedies against violation of fundamental rights in the high court by filing a writ. Coming to district court. सुप्रीम कोर्ट हो गया, हाई कोर्ट हो गया. पॉइंट्स रिवाइज कर लो, याद आ रहा है तो डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोर्ट की तरफ आगे बढ़ते हैं. हाई कोर्ट are going to fall, district courts are going to fall below the high court. The court of district judge is going to deal with civil law matters, and the civil judge can try suits valuing not more than rupees 2 crore. So the pecuniary value under which the civil judge has to try do the trials is rupees 2 crore. Courts get territorial jurisdiction. How is the jurisdiction of a court decided? It is based on areas covered by them, and the cases are decided based on local limits within which the parties reside or the place where the property under dispute is situated. That is about district court. Coming to metropolitan court. It is established in metropolitan cities after consultation with high court, and it is established where the population is at least 10 lakh. Chief metropolitan magistrate, he has the powers like a chief judicial magistrate. So सिर्फ नाम अलग है. In the case of district and metropolitan court का highest authority metropolitan magistrate और chief metropolitan magistrate, chief judicial magistrate and court of magistrate of first class. So magistrate of first class के equivalent कौन है? metropolitan magistrate. और chief judicial magistrate के equivalent कौन है? chief metropolitan magistrate. So that is about the hierarchy of courts. Supreme Court, High Court, District Court and Metropolitan Court. You should remember the specific points which we have discussed under the each type of court. That is all about chapter 1. If you want more such revision videos, then do like, comment, share with your friends and subscribe this channel. See you in the next video.